So as we discovered earlier, there was oil in the oil filter. Sorry, there was oil in the air filter. And part of that is probably because it's been sucking oil through the EGR valve, which is this unit here, through this big pipe, down into the air filter, and that's where it's obviously all getting gunked up. And all we need to do is remove the battery, which we've done already. So we've undone the 13mm bolt, taken the strap off, taken the battery out, undone the 2 terminals, so it's given us access to work in here. 7mm nut here, which basically undoes this clamp. Once we do that, we pull off the big pipe, and inside the pipe you'll probably find, he says, let's have a look, absolute black and horrible gunk, so we'll need to clean that bit out. And then in here we've got the butterfly, which is basically all still, yeah, that's all horrible, so we'll have to clean all that out. And finally this bit here, so we've got 2 nuts on top, these 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll slide that off and we'll clean out all the stuff that's inside here. And what that'll do is it'll clean out this whole system, all these pipe works here, and eventually stop the oil from being sucked up this pipe down into the air filter. So Harrison's now going to do the 2 13 bolts that are on top. I'll be lucky to do those because I bet they're probably all rusted in.
Shut up.
Ah. So what this is doing, pipe underneath the big metal pipe I've got my hand on, and you now start to see the gasket swing. See that down there? My fingers on there. And we need to make sure we don't lose any of that. There we go, now we're loose, it's just that gasket that's holding it in. With that, and grab that gasket, I've only got one hand.
Is it just that?
Yeah, there we go. And as you can see underneath that pipe down here, that obviously is going to sit back up here when we put it all back together. Now we need to undo these bolts here, which are 10mm I believe. We'll probably use the ring end. That's it, you've got more control with the ring. And then nice and loose. Whoa, 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 we need to spin that one off first, which is an 8mm, which is there, look, I think, oh, an 8. Yeah.
So what goes in there? In that, there?
This pipe here.
Ah.
We'll be taking that pipe off.
Okay.
So I've just taken it off to give some little bit extra access. There we go. And one bracket off. Back to your 10s. Two. So 1, 2. Thankfully these are all relatively easily loose to come off. Three. And what we need is a 10mm socket. One last 10mm socket. Number 4. Okay, so when I pull this off, we should have access to and see the inside of the valve. We've also got there, look, a little clip switch. He says, let me just change hands so I can get my hand on it. Which way is it going to go? That way. And then he's not going to come off, is he? Where's it not going to come off? Ah, there we go. So one valve, look, and you see it's all black. We can clean that up a little bit. But more importantly, in here, let's try and be careful with that gasket. In here, you should have there we go. Access now to the inside of the throttle body that is black and filthy. So we'll clean that up now. As you can see, we're all nice and clean on the inside, or certainly a lot cleaner than it was. And the most important part, I don't know whether you can see, is in the middle. This looks like a spring. That's your valve. That's what you're looking to make sure is clean. And that's about as clean as you're going to get from where it is, apart from dismantling it completely, which we're not going to do because we don't need to go that far. So we're going to put the 2 bolts back in this side, just to hold the gasket back together, he says. There's one. And there's the second one. And then before we put it back down, we're going to make sure we're going to connect the valve, which is there, and when we click, it says, make sure we click in. Oh, pulled up. There we go. Sorry. Click. Oh, come on. Change hands is probably easier. Oh, I think we're in without knowing it. We managed to attach it. Oh, we weren't waiting for a click. We're in. Right, and then this goes back there. Put these in just to hold that top gasket in place. Come on, gasket, get back up now. The socket because I can't get my fingers on it. Let's wind that back in. The bottom one. Let's come out. I don't think my knees are going to take this. I'm getting too old to lean over. Right, so I'm going to go there. He says, just don't do that fraction so it sits flush. That's it. And then we screw that one back in. You'll be glad to know there's not much to see here.
So again, it's just to stop, am I right in saying, just to stop oil from going in through this big pipe here, down into our air filter.
So what we've done effectively is hopefully, because we've cleaned off this valve, it stopped the suction of any oil up through all these breather pipes as you see here, and then up through this, the it's almost like a throttle body, up through the pipe, and obviously suck the oil back into the air filter. And I'm sure there's lots of technical people out there that's probably going to tell me I'm not calling all these gizmos and gadgets the right thing. And I'm quite happy to learn. Right, let's tighten all this up again. One. Feel like count from.
We needed to put this on.
Yeah, so that sits on top of these, doesn't it? When they're
Top of those two.
Yeah, when they're tight. Three. And I think there'll have to be a spanner at the bottom. 10 mil. Two, three, We're going to need to slide that on here, and without dropping any nuts. This is going to be fun. You need to whip these. One there. It says trying to get the finger on so that you can still see. One there. And then our 8mm is just going to pinch those up. It says one. Down and we're going to be able to get on there. I don't know whether we can do it. Did we do it from on top before? I think we did. We can certainly do it here. Another half a turn. There we go. Right, so that's on. That's on. Our pipework's ready to slit up there again. We've got the last, which is the underneath. So the gasket needs to go in, he says. On top of.
Right. Now re-put everything back onto here, reattached our big pipe as well, and now we're going to put back in our battery as well.
Get in there, yeah.
Battery.
Well, that fits much snugger actually.
And the strap's got over.
He says trying to find the hole. There we go. And then we need to try and get that nut on top of that. There we go. Solid. So always put on your positive first. So we're going to connect your positive in. We've got one of these little clips that goes through the top that holds the whole positive battery terminal down. And then with a 10mm spanner, there we go. Just going to pinch that up tight. Like that, so it's just caught, and then just a tiny tweak like that, and that's it, no more. Battery cover goes on. Oh hello, we've got a bit of birdie on there. Clips down, that side's done, and then this side, hopefully we're not going to spark when we go on. This is really clever actually, because it's got like a tightening thing, which is great.
It's like a bike wheel thing, isn't it?
It is. And then when you're done, literally just pinch it back, and it's on. Like that.